Mr. Pika, please report to the front office. Mr. Pika. Wait. Oh, yeah, he doesn't work here anymore.
That is correct. I do not work at the school anymore.
Yay!
You better believe it. This is a VO's journey. My name is Anthony Pika. I am your host.
Oh, yeah.
This podcast is all about helping the new and upcoming voiceover artists grow their business so they can sidestep all of the crazy mounds of crap that I seem to step on. Today is episode number 101, and I want to thank everybody because episode number 100 was fantastic, and it got such a warm welcome, and thank you all so much, and congratulations again to all our winners, and thank you all for leaving those amazing reviews. Thank you. So today, what I want to talk about, speaking of school is back in session for many youngsters out there.
Quiet, Junior!
I'd like to talk about the power of scheduling what you are doing specifically while you are doing it, as well as keeping track of your work and how important it is to growing your voiceover business. All right? Let's do it.
This is VO's journey. With your host, the incomparable Anthony Pika.
Yes! So, it is so wonderful to be doing episode 101, and I wanted to really dive into the idea of scheduling because, as you know, I went full-time about 2.5 months ago.
Get it right!
But as I've done that and things have started to change, meaning that, you know, I no longer need to stay up super late and I need to do more work during the day, I've definitely been having challenges of like kind of, you know, moving from one spot to the next because, you know, I'll get up and I need to get up early, but at the same time, you know, I get up early because my wife goes to work and I've got to take the kids during the summer. They go to camp, but I get up early to do that. But then I'm still trying to stay up late because of the habit. So it's kind of like, well, what's happening? And then I found myself actually not doing as much work during the day and doing more
such
in the
a slacker.
evening, and because of the habit. So I talk about something that in my mastermind group, and we've talked about before, but I want to talk to you about that, and that is creating specific goals that are meant for you to complete and track within a short period of time. So let me ask you this. Have you ever experienced putting like a list together of stuff that you need to do, and you put so much stuff on there that there's no way possible you can get it done. Even in the best of circumstances, if the stars aligned, heavens opened up, the angels began to sing their heavenly song, would you finish this list?
Yes, I can!
Well, I used to do it like all the time. I just put everything down on my to-do list. And what would happen was because I did that, I got really nothing done. Yeah, a bit overdramatic, but you get the point. But on top of that, I wasn't tracking what I got done. And also I wasn't tracking the time I spent on each individual piece of it. So what I've done that has really started to help, and I want to share with you this because, you know, in our businesses, there are some things that we can do regularly on a daily basis that's going to make us money.
What is it?
And then there's the rest of the things that we're going to do that is not going to make us money, but it's a necessary evil to run our business.
That sucks!
So the things that are going to make us money, for example, are auditioning, right? The more we audition, the more opportunities we are going to have to directly make money, okay? There's reaching out to potential customers. The more we reach out to customers, the more chances we are to directly make money. Everything else that we do, well, besides actually doing your voiceover work, But everything else that we do, that is a necessary evil of business. So that is something that we need to do, but it's not going to directly generate income. So what I've been finding is that I've been doing a lot of that and not as much of the things that are going to get me work, consistent work. And I wasn't even recording anything. And I think just from talking to a lot of different voiceover artists, I think a lot of us don't do that. I think a lot of us don't have our own spreadsheet. And on that spreadsheet, we haven't put together, a date and the time, like a time log. So I recommend the first thing that you do is put together a time log. And this will be really telling. So what you want on your time log is get a spreadsheet. You can use, if you have, a PC or you have Word, you can use Excel, or if you have Mac or Apple, you can use Numbers, and just get an Excel or Google Drive, whatever, Google, and put in a sheet together, a spreadsheet. And on that, divide it up from the time that you started and the time that you stopped, and put about, for each day that you record, put different times, like time in, time out, time in, time out. Because what I found is that I work and then I have to go do something. At least this is what's happening to me. Like today, I was working and then I had to stop, go take my kids to camp. Come back, I started working. Then I had to stop because my son messaged me and said he forgot his bathing suit because they were going swimming today. So I had to stop, go take him his bathing suit, and come back and start working again. And what I do then is I log in and then I log out. I log in and I log out. And what it does is it's starting to show me how much actual work time I'm actually working. And then what I can do is I can start using that data to make predictions about the time that I need to accomplish things, the time that I'm currently using to accomplish those things, and moving forward, how much time I need to make X amount of money. Okay, well, hopefully that makes sense. So I just keep that log all day until I'm done. And then tomorrow I'll just start, I'll go down a row and start on that row for the next day. Okay, so that's one thing that I'm tracking and I'm finding a lot of success using, just helping me understand where my time is going and what I'm doing. The next thing that I'm using is I have on that spreadsheet, I just add a sheet to that spreadsheet. I add a sheet that is dealing with what am I actually completing and what am I getting from that. So for example, on my sheet, and I actually have work completed. So I put WC1, WC2, and then I have a date, right? So the date today, and then I have work completed 1, work completed 2, work completed 3, and those have their each individual boxes. And from that, I'm putting down actually what I'm doing and what I'm getting from it. Okay. So for example, if I do a voiceover, I put down in there the name of the person I did the voiceover for, how much money I made, and then how much money I made after the fee. This is another thing too. I'm getting really particular about this because, like for example, on Fiverr, if you do a job for $100, you only get $80 after Fiverr takes their fee. So to me, it's really beginning to become so important to actually put down the actual number that you are getting, but also to record the other number for purposes of taxes, because that $20, okay, now I've not gotten the form yet from Fiverr, but I imagine they're going to send me $100 what I've made, they're going to send it as $100, right? So that means I need to show that they took $20, or I'm going to show that I'm making 20% more than I am. So if I make $100,000 this year just from Fiverr, all right, and like actual cash, but they put on there that, I made $120,000, that's extra $20,000 I'd be paying taxes on. I need to make sure that I take that off. So that's something important for you to track. Okay, so that's what I do. So every time I complete a work, I put down what I've completed, how much money I've made. Also, if it's work, like for example, if I'm posting a video, I put that down. If I'm making a podcast like I'm doing right now, I put that down. The work I've completed, I am starting to track.
Put it all down!
And I am finding, because I am tracking that, I am actually accomplishing more work.
Say what?
And I think this is the reason why, and I honestly think it has to do with psychology as well. But if you see what you are doing, what you are working on and what you are completing, as opposed to you just kind of floating around and, you're looking at something or for example, what happens to me a lot is I will get sidetracked trying to figure something out. And then it leads me down a rabbit hole and I will continue figuring something out. And then the worst thing that started happening to me recently, I'll be honest with you guys, is Facebook videos. I don't know, whatever Facebook has done recently, they've done it well because the videos just keep popping up and playing on my thing. And I'm like, oh, this is hilarious. And I had to check myself and pull myself back to reality. The SNL ones are horrible for me. I love watching the Saturday Night Live ones. Anyways, so, as I'm getting back to it. So the point here is that the tracking is actually helping me stay moving forward in my business and not losing so much time doing miscellaneous things. One of the things that happened to me was, I found my family was coming home. I was picking them up. I was doing dinner. And then I still had loads of work done that I could have done during the day. And I look back to I was trying to look back at my day and I'm like, where did all the time go? What was happening? Something other that's been interesting for me is that I've been starting to force myself to get up early in the morning when my wife was leaving. So it's funny because as a teacher, you get up, a high school teacher, they start early, right? So, I'd get up at 5:30, 6 in the morning and get ready and be at work by 6:45. So, but, doing this, I was for a while this summer, I've been getting up at 8:30, 9. And the only reason I've been getting up that early was because I needed to take my kids. But I found that over this past week, I've really been focusing on trying to get up at an early time, trying to get up at 6. Now, that is just something that I'm experiencing right now. And how this could be for example, you might be well, I work a full-time job. I think this has the time I get up in the morning is fixed. Exactly. So what I'm trying to say is how this can equivalent to you is that you need to fix your time that you start working. And you need to make it exactly like you are an employee in your business. Because you don't want to be this you don't want to be this, person who just works all the time. You want to utilize the time that you have as efficiently as possible and get as much done as possible within those time limits so that you actually can divide. So for me, I was starting to everything after I went full time here, everything was starting to become one thing, right? It was all voiceover all the time. Something happened. Oh, it's voiceover. Something happened. Oh, because it was a voiceover during the morning, voiceover during the day, voiceover during the afternoon, voiceover during the night. That's cool. But at the same time, I realized, wait a minute, I'm not changing my schedule now that I've gone full time. I need to change my schedule, right? So the tracking is really helping me see that. Plus, what it's helping me see also is where I am making the most money, what I am doing to make money. Something that I started doing too is tracking my phone calls. Tracking the emails that I'm sending through my phone calls and et cetera, or tracking all of these things. And that the only way you can move forward is by tracking what you're doing and then tweaking and changing it and adding or subtracting so that you can see how to make it better. If you don't track it, you will forget it and you won't know where you came from, what you are doing, and then most importantly, you won't know where you're going. All right? So I would love for all of you to start tracking the time that you are working, when you are starting to work and when you are stopping to work.
Make sure you are listening to Mr. Pika and what he is asking you to do, because he knows a thing or two or three. You know what? He knows something, so you should listen. Well, he really doesn't know that much, but something. Just do it.
What you are actually completing. For example, if I complete 3 chapters of a book today, I write down that I complete 3 chapters of that book. And I write that down. And then my time log shows how long it took me to do that. So the importance of this cannot be overstated. And it is really helping me grow my business and helping me stay on track. It's also started to help me regulate my time and my schedule so, I start to feel normal again. And what I mean by normal is that I start to feel like I'm not a zombie at certain times and this and that I'm actually, starting. And in all fairness, I guess, to myself, right? For 2.5 years, I did nothing but get up early and work until 1, 2, 3 o'clock in the morning. So it's definitely become a habit. And I found that I was doing less work during the day now because I was doing it at night. Like I had to work at night, not during the day. So, that's kind of something that I think would help all of you. And it's helping me by getting spreadsheets, putting down a time log, putting down a log about all of the work you are completing, and make sure that you are tracking all of this and going back and reviewing it after you've done it for a week and to see what you actually did. Add up the money you actually made. Add up the time you actually spent working. Add up what you actually completed and see how much you are actually putting out there. And if that equals, this is the kicker, and this is why tracking is so important. Does the work and what you are putting out equal what your ambition and what your dreams are moving, you forward with? Like, is that equaling the amount that you want to accomplish? If you look at it and say, I want to be a full-time voiceover artist and I want to make $10,000 a month, and this week I worked 4 hours, I mean, that's pretty darn impressive if you can work 4 hours a week and make 10 grand a week.
That's a lot of money.
All right. Or let's say a month. You want to make 10 grand a week would be nice too, but 10 grand a month.
Take me out to lunch.
And you work 4 hours a week. So 4, 8, 12, 16. Even working 16 hours a month and making $10,000, that's pretty crazy.
I'm going to the beach.
Right? However, if you don't ever track what you're doing, you won't know, because maybe you're actually spending 30 hours every week working, but you're only being really productive for 4 hours.
What?
So you are like wasting 26 hours. And that's not extreme. I firmly believe we can waste that much time doing things that have nothing to do with us making money in our voiceover business.
I know I do.
So I hope that this has helped you with the ideas of getting spreadsheets, start tracking your time. Is it more work? Absolutely. Is it mundane? Only if you believe it's not important. If you make this really super important, it begins to be a vital aspect of your business. And it'll be another vital aspect to your success. Tracking what you have done, reviewing it, seeing what you need to do to make more or to increase your productivity. And by increasing that productivity, you can see what you're actually producing. And then from that, you can make changes or additions. All right, you guys. Well, I think this was fantastic. Really enjoyed doing this podcast. And again, please, if you can, go to iTunes, leave a review. It has been incredible. So many new people are finding it. I'm getting to meet so many more people, so many of you. And the giveaway was amazing. So I'm excited to do another one of those soon. But please, if you get an opportunity, go to iTunes or Spotify or wherever you are, leave a review. I would really appreciate it. Thank you guys so much. Have a wonderful, wonderful day. Peace. We've come to the end of the road, and I just want to let you know how important you are to me. Thank you. Thank you for everything you do. It is so important. Oh my God. Thank you. I think, is it still on? Okay. Goodbye.
Don't tell me she's nothing to you. Oh, she's a